The opinions expressed are those of the program host and guest and are not those of WSTU. WSTU does not endorse products that may be mentioned. Any reproduction or retransmission of this broadcast is strictly prohibited without written consent of WSTU. The phone lines are open. Call in with your questions and comments at 220-9788. That's 220-WSTU. It's time for Stuart Laser Talk with your host, Dr. Tred J. Rizacker.
I'm 5'10" and 242 pounds.
I always say this is the biggest I'm ever going to be, and I said that like 20 pounds ago.
A third of Americans are obese, another third is overweight.
Obesity is the biggest threat to the health, welfare, and future of this country.
I've always been overweight.
I've got diabetes.
Sleep apnea, heart disease.
Everything's hurting now.
It's a lot easier to lose weight than it is to keep weight off.
This is probably going to be the first generation of children who are going to have a shorter life expectancy than their parents.
18% of our children right now are obese.
It's not only health, it's about survival and well-being of the United States as a nation.
You don't crave broccoli, and our generation has grown up craving a Big Mac.
I want to think that there's something better for me.
Unless we're able to control this epidemic, we're going to have an abundance of chronic disease.
All of us have to be part of the solution to reduce obesity.
The weight of the nation is out of control, but we can fix that.
If we don't now take this as a really urgent national priority, we are all going to pay a really serious price.
Obesity will crush the United States in oblivion.
Hey. Another glorious day, December 1st, 2020. Ready for the holiday season, and I am going to throw care to the wind and just enjoy myself. I'm not going to be too concerned about watching the media these days. The doom, the purveyors of doom and dread, in my opinion. Anyway, my name is Dr. Tred Rizacker, and I'm a doctor of chiropractic, licensed for 33 years, and I practice here in Stuart, Florida. And I have an office called the Slim Body Laser Spa. And basically I am using an FDA cleared laser device, low level laser, which is a very safe process to help with weight loss by the fact that it targets the outer fat layer, the fat that lies on the outside of the body, which is very difficult and stubborn when you get older to do that. And as a result of that, at the same time, I go over your nutrition and wellness so you can also get rid of that inner fat layer, which is called visceral fat, which is diet and exercise. You know that as well as anybody does. But what happens is when you get older, or you're challenged with stress or other issues, just plain old, sometimes lack of discipline, or you'd rather, you don't want to give up things you really enjoy, like alcohol, right? Sometimes you need an assist. You need help outside just eating and dieting and hitting the gym and restricting calories, and this process, my laser spa, using these FDA cleared lipo low level laser devices, along with whole body vibration, along with detoxification, and just some accountability and some friendship and some support over time can really, really impact your overall health and wellness and your body fat percentages. And that's incredible. And it's been a lot of fun for me as a chiropractor. My life used to be involved with going room to room to room to room, table to table, and just having people lay down and work on their back. And in order to develop, to have any kind of income, you got to see a lot of people. So it would be common to see 200 to 300 people a week. A bus holds 60 people. We did that in a day, 60 to 80 to 100 people a day. You work 3.5 days a week. So, to say I was stooped over in a stoop position is an understatement. My father, who practiced 50 years before me, never got away from that process. And, as he got older, he was bent in that position. I remember his fingers when he showed me his hands. the fingers, which should be, like have higher fingers here. When I saw him, they were all like the same the same size, because he had used his fingers so many times to push the bones in that it shortened them. It caused them to be smaller. And this, helps a lot of people, but it's hard on your body. And 10 years ago, I got married. Met this beautiful girl, wonderful person, Juanwisa. And she came in and she looked at what I was doing. We got married, and she came into my office, and she wanted to be helpful, as wives do, at least, grateful for that. And she looked at it, and she looked at me, and she says, "You can't keep doing this like this. You're not going to live long. This is hard work." And 27 years of it. And I didn't know any different, anything else. And we started doing lasers is what happened. I found out that laser energy, red light energy, in the form of a laser or LEDs, can really be beneficial for pain relief, for healing, speeding up healing, for, relaxation, for releasing spasms, incredible stuff. And I was developing my own laser practice within my chiropractic office. So I called it Laser Heal. In fact, I've got the little name tag right here. It says Laser Heal. And that was my laser part of my practice when I got married. And she came in and started helping me. And finally having someone that was really competent and really had my back and saw the value in it, we decided to focus more on helping people with the red light and these laser devices. And it's also a way of avoiding opiates and surgeries and injections. And, medicine is very valuable, but it also has a lot of, oh my God, it's going to hurt. You're going to do what? I have to take these pills for how long? There's side effects. Is it going to hurt? Right? Have you ever been into a doctor? It didn't hurt. And with the laser, it's like a gentle red light that you lay back and you're like, oh my God, I want to fall asleep. This is, and my elbow feels better, right? Or my back's better, so it was just more congruent with where I believe health should be. It should be non-invasive. Now, that doesn't discredit the importance of medical treatments and medical crisis care. But let me tell you, for things before they get to that point, nothing, I say nothing is better than a chiropractor with a laser, with a laser therapy procedure or process. And there's a lot of chiropractors out there that are doing cold laser therapy. In fact, there's a lot of medical doctors now that are doing cold laser therapy. There's whole centers dedicated to specific conditions that help you with a cold laser. And I saw one in North Carolina, and the only thing that they treat, now this is a group of medical doctors, not chiropractors, although we all can work together, and their specialty was something called trigeminal neuralgia. And trigeminal neuralgia is a horrible, horrible pain that people can develop that's under the ear, in the jaw, and it kind of travels around into your teeth and into your face. And it's really the trigeminal nerve, which exits from the skull right between your jaw, where your jaw moves up and down. It gets irritated by the jaw movement, or if your jaw gets knocked out of alignment, it can put pressure on it and it causes inflammation in that spot. And it is a pain that's like, having a burn. It's burning. It doesn't go away. It's chronic, and people go crazy over it. And the treatment is the Mayo Clinic developed a protocol for treating trigeminal neuralgia that was coming from this area. And basically what they did was they surgically open up the ear area, and they go to what they call the mastoid process, which is a point of attachment of some of the muscles in the side of your jaw. And you can feel it. It's called the mastoid. And what they're doing is they're cutting that away, and then they're inserting a Teflon disc or Teflon pad in between the jaw movement and that trigeminal nerve. And that's something which is showing some relief from this. This is a major surgery, big bucks, $50,000, $100,000, how much medicine can cost with, and it seems like it's a solution without other tools available. It's something which can help people. And then what they found out was if they take the red laser, the low level laser, and they shine it and treat that area with a series of treatments, it can relieve the inflammation. It reduces the pain. It helps speed up the healing, and it can give relief that is like they never had anything work so well. Now it might not fix the problem, because the problem could be a misaligned jaw or the way they're chewing or dental issues, which can cause the misalignment in there. There's other causes of it, but as far as treating the symptomatology, the aching and the pain, it is like light years ahead of anything, and without any surgery. So there's clinics that are devoted to this one specific problem, and they're using the red light cold laser therapy. Now, you owe it to yourself. Just because your insurance doesn't pay for something doesn't mean it's a good idea. Just because your insurance pays doesn't mean it's a good idea. This clinic, the insurance won't pay for it. And these are orthopedic surgeons and doctors trying to help people without any, with no insurance reimbursement. So my name is Dr. Tread Rissacker, and if you just tuned in, I have an office and I'm using red laser light photo biomodulation to help people to get rid of stubborn fatty deposits, fat that's accumulating on the outside of the muscles, underneath the skin, the tire roll, the bat wings, the back fat that bulges around your bra bulge, even though you're exercising. Maybe you gained weight in the past and you've lost the weight, but you're left over with these rolls. This is what this process targets very, very effectively. We're doing it now for going on 11 years. In May, this February will be our 11th year anniversary. We skipped our 10th year anniversary because that's when COVID came, closed everybody down, and we were planning on having a big party and doing some promotions, and we get up and plan our lives and God laughs, they say. So anyway, I am really, really thank you for everybody tuning in. I want to say hi to Scott. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. I'll do the little wave for you. So at my Slim Body Laser Spa, we guarantee results. Now, I'm not just saying that. That's the truth. We guarantee inch loss results. We cannot guarantee weight loss, because you could eat terribly and not tell us, and there's no way to change that. But when it comes to putting the laser on your outer fatty layer, tightening your arms, your thighs, fixing the double chins, this process is predictable, and it has research and factual things to prove that it works, and we're willing to put that in writing. So we guarantee a 3-inch loss, and that would be an inch in girth in 3 areas, totaling 3 measurements around your abdomen. Now, when it comes to arms and thighs, we have to each individual case is different, and it's really hard to measure those. So we guarantee that we'll do our best job, but we can't always guarantee the thighs and the legs, but we can guarantee abdomens because it's much more of a dynamic thing which we can measure and prove that it works. So we always take digital pictures before and after, and we do very exact measurements. And each time you're measured, you're asked to sign off on the measurement to see that it was done correctly. We use a mirror so you can see that the tape, and we use a self-locking tape measure to make sure there's very little room for error when it comes to measuring, because a tape measure you could pull tight or you could do loose. So for that reason, we do a 3-inch loss in guarantee in writing, and that means if you don't lose an inch in 3 spots at least, then we sit down and we work on getting you more visits. We try to solve the solution, and if we can't find the solution, we give you your money back. We're number 1 in our market for over 10 years. Nobody has come close to the success we've had because of me and my staff and my lovely Juan Wisa. She is a superstar. She is a process oriented person. Right? You need processes, you could be I use the example of cooking a cake, or baking, you might have this incredible idea of this wonderful meal that you're going to prepare for your family. All right. And you're the idea guy, you're the one that found it on the internet and you've met other people and it's going to bring the family together and the kids will stay home and eat it. But you don't have any ability to follow directions. Right. When it comes to following recipes and buying everything, you lack in those skills. And, so somebody has to have the process. Somebody has to be good at that process. And what I have found is over the years, my ability to explain it, to apply the technology, to train people, to motivate, to hold the risk of the licensure and everything is some of my strong points. But when it comes to the process of planning out the process, that's my Juan Wisa's strong point. She is a fantastic at following the process, and she stays very focused and disciplined on it. It's very hard to knock her off her center. I can get off on tangents. He asked me a question about food or about something I'm interested in, and next thing I'm jabbing away, jawing away, and the clock is ticking. But those two things are really important to have. Somebody that can follow the process and manage that, and also somebody who's a visionary and can see things that others don't see beforehand. So I think that's been a really good thing, and we've developed this process between us. And we know every client that's ever been in there. We know their results because we guarantee results. So when somebody says, and they maybe come up and say, well, I heard it didn't work for me. And we're like, what's your name? Well, who's the person that told you? What was their name? Well, and then you find out it wasn't us at all because we know everybody. I meet them. I sign them out at the end. I know if they're happy. I know if they're not. Try that with any other business. If they really know if you're pleased with your results. My line when I walk up to people in my office and they're there is everything okay? Is there anything I can do to be helpful for you today? Is there any questions about the diet, the food, the laser, your results? I ask right up front because I found if you wait till the end and it festers, you have an unhappy person and you can't really solve the problem. But if you can ask it soon, because sometimes people are embarrassed to tell you, maybe they were expecting more result faster, or, the food recommendation wasn't, they didn't think that they would have to do that. And we handle it early. And for that reason, we have a lot of really, really happy people that come into the spa. So my Slim Body is the only center which handles two separate problems at the same time. Now, we're combining stubborn fat reduction and skin tightening along with traditional weight loss at the same time. Now, this is really, really unique. And the fact is, if you were to overeat and start to gain weight and you're under 50 years old, let's say you're in your 40s, if you go to a weight loss center or hit the gym and start eating better, the chances are with some discipline, you can lose weight and body sculpt at the same time. You can lose weight, and when you do, your skin tightens, the belly flap goes away, your chin looks better. You don't end up with, droopy arm muscles or anything like that because you still have youth, you still have muscle tone, and your hormones are really are fantastically high before you're 30, 40 years old. But there's a phenomena that happens to a lot of us when we reach sometimes even in our 30s, but most people in their 40s or 50s, and it's really pronounced in your 60s. And what happens is when you just do weight loss and exercise, you cannot change the outer fat anymore. You can lose weight and you can be healthier, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you're just a smaller version of what you started with because you can't change that outer fat, that stubborn subcutaneous fat. So it really leaves a person with a conundrum, with a problem. They're either going to go and consult with a surgeon, a liposuction person to see if they can have the skin removed and tightened or fat transferred to other areas. As you know, that's a really popular procedure, or they suffer with it. They don't have any other real options. Now, if you go to the doctor and you're overweight and you have outside fat and you go to the MD and you want liposuction and skin removal and you're overweight, you're not a good candidate for them because you haven't handled the visceral fat, the fat that surrounds your organs, which requires diet and exercise. So if you do the procedure there, you're really going to be left in the lurch. You're not going to get the results you want. And it's actually quite dangerous. And the doctors know that. They don't accept people that are what they call obese, over 30% body fat. So what do you do? So a lot of people will do the weight loss first because they believe that they have to do that before the surgeon will accept them. And then once they get the weight loss, 40 to 50% of those clients will require skin removal. The removal of skin, not just a little toning here, a little tummy tuck. We're talking massive amounts of skin have to be cut off. And then they stitch them together and they look like Frankenstein with their clothes off. You see the big long scars. When they take loose skin off around your legs and your buttocks, they go right to the back of your thigh. They make an incision from your knee right up to the buttock area. And then they cut away that skin, a big flap of it, big long piece. And then they stitch it. Then they pull the skin together and they stitch it down your leg. So you have a leg scar that goes from the back of your knee right up through your buttock to get rid of the loose skin. When it comes to the front of the stomach and you have that flap that hangs over after weight loss, they literally lay you on your back and they carve out a football shaped size piece of skin. And then they cut that skin off, very carefully removing the tissue around it. And then they pull that skin together, they tighten it down, and then they have to relocate your belly button. And that's as a gift after successful weight loss. If you're really overweight, 50% on the average who have 40 to 50 pounds of fat and over 50 years old will require skin removal in order to tone up and tighten those areas. So, what we're doing at the Slim Body Laser Spa is we're able to take somebody with 40 or 50 pounds overweight, or even 100 pounds. It just takes more visits. And with weight loss, with help with food and cleaning up their diet, basically trying to find a happy medium where they feel like they're getting, they can eat and be happy. At the same time, we're applying the laser to that outer fatty pocket, that big pouch. And every time we do it, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller in a series of weeks. 3 weeks is our initial program, but it can go on the second month, the third month, and the fourth month. And at the same time, that bag of extra outside fat is getting smaller and smaller and smaller while they're losing weight. And for some people, they don't need to have any skin removal procedures because it takes time. It can take, I just had somebody that came in, I did a consultation. He was 330 pounds and about 5'8", 5'10", not real tall. And that's a lot of weight to have. And I told him it would be 5 months. I said, you can do the first 4 to 6 weeks, up front. We are very intense, lots of laser, lots of help with food. I said, and then at the end of that 5th week, you have to make a decision if you want to go off and just continue with the diet and the food plan that we developed for you. And you can do that. Or do you want to stay with the office over the 2nd month, the 3rd month, and the 4th month and continue to take advantage of the laser and also the accountability? And the total cost averaged, it was like about $3,000 for that first 6 weeks. And then from that, and then it would be like $500 to $800 a month for each month after that, and that's in this business, that's cheap. If you're looking at 5 months of treatment to go into a weight loss center, one of these fat farms that they have now, these rehabs, the average cost is between $15,000 and $24,000 to go to Pritikin Institute or to go to down to what is the place? Hippocrates down in West Palm Beach. They have a 30-day program. Their program is $30,000 for 4 weeks. And, this is where the market's going. We're talking at the Slim Body Spa, doing it outpatient. You're talking about $2,500 to $3,000 for the first 4 to 6 weeks, and approximately about $1,000 a month if you need a lot of care until you get the results you want. And we can help finance it. And that is really inexpensive. I know it seems a lot when you're thinking you can still go to the gym, right? I'll just go to the gym. Okay. Tell me how that works. I'll call you in a year, see how you did. So what happens at the Slim Body Spa is we're bringing together 2 separate problems and treating them at the same time. So you save money because you don't have to pay for weight loss and all those food products. You know, the average cost for quick weight loss for a year, and that quick weight loss is not with us anymore. The model, of whatever reason, went out of business. The average cost was $6,000 to $9,000 for 1 year of their supplements, of their products that are sent to you. You know, Jenny Craig averages about anywhere between $700 to $1,200 a month just for the food that they ship you, the auto ship food. You know, that's $10,000, $15,000 for these food without any really help with exercise, without any help for the outer fat. You're not treating the outer fat with weight loss. And then when you go to the place that treats the outer fat, the liposuction, the abdominoplasty, I don't even mention the other ones because they're so minimal on how well they work. You know, the fat freezing and the hot lasers and the electromagnetic pulse machines and the ultrasound. Those things are really minimally effective. And, you know, they run PowerShape, which is an ultrasound process that takes 4 to 9 treatments. If you're over 30%, is offered by Water's Edge. That process is like $6,000. And they don't guarantee any result at all, not even an inch. They can't. They don't. We do. So what you're getting is 2 procedures for the same price. And that's fantastic. And that's why we have such a market share. That's why we see so many people. So you only pay for the spot fat reduction, skin tightening laser at my office, and the weight loss and the nutritional evaluations are included in the plan. They're buried into the plan. So you don't have to go to a dietitian also. You don't need a nutritionist. You don't need a weight loss coach when you come into the Slim Body Laser Spa. You get the motivation that only a quick procedure will give you. Only something which happens in so fast. In 3 weeks, I went from a 40-inch belly to a 36-inch waist in 4 weeks, laying on my back, sleeping, because my staff applied the machine to me. I mean, you can fall asleep. And at the same time, we're working on your nutrition. We're asking questions. You get a nutritional evaluation. We calculate your BMI, your BMR. We're, teaching you when to weigh in, what type of foods are. We have nutrition classes that you can attend to learn more. We also have downloads and things on the internet now. And at the end of the 4th week, when you see the dramatic inch loss and your pants are fitting better and you're into your smaller clothes now, it's really easy to want to continue with that. And a lot of people, they go off on their own, and I see them 6, 7, 8 months later, a year later at one of the shows we do, because we do a lot of outside events, and they're skinny people. And they're like, it worked. Oh my God, I can't believe it. So that's what you get at the spa, at my Slim Body Laser Spa. Now, at the same time, my process also handles the underlying cause of excessive weight gain. Why did this happen in the first place? Nobody's going to help you with that. The weight loss centers aren't going to help you with that. There's some programs now, these online apps that do help with why you got weight, emotional counseling. What is it? Psychological affirmations, the Noom process, Noom, Noom. It's like a online app that goes over psychological help of, are you lonely? Don't eat, exercise, get out, get counseling. If you're eating overstressed, then these are things you can do about stress. So this is, these are real, but that's how they handle it. But they don't help you with outside fat either. So my process handles the underlying cause of excessive weight gain. And also we have a solution for keeping the weight off. And this is because of a process which causes detoxification. In other words, your fatty tissue, your fat areas where you absorb fat also protect you from poisons. Poisons, mainly petroleum-based products, are stored and stashed away in your fatty tissue. And what happens is, if you don't get rid of the toxins, if you don't get rid of these toxic materials while you go through this process, you will be somebody who will want to eat again to protect you from the poisons. So the poisons are, it's kind of like, suppose you have a bunch of criminals, God forbid, in a prison, and you have lots of guards to guard them. And the guards are necessary to keep the prisoners in the prison. You need guards. Without the guards, they get out. And what's happening is, but you've got too many guards, and everybody says, we can't afford all these guards. There's too many, and we need help, and they're bulging out and they're taking over. So let's get rid of some of the guards. And what happens is, when you remove your people that guard the prisoners, now the prisoners, they can get out and they can create havoc. And did you do a disservice to the community? Of course you did. You got rid of the protective mechanism that keeps them in prison. And the solution would be to either rehabilitate the prisoners, make them where they're no longer a havoc for you, or you need to put more guards back in. And your fat is protecting you from toxic poisons that are in our environment, mainly petroleum-based products. Petroleum, paints, plastics, electromagnetic radiation, those mercury fillings that were put in your teeth when you were young like me. I had them all taken out because those are toxins. Root canals that have rotted in your jaw that don't cause any pain but have pockets of infection up into your jaw. Did you know that a root canal that you had when you were in the 70s or 80s has most likely rotted and has caused a pocket of infection in your jawbone? And you don't even know it? But you're suffering with sinus problems. You're suffering with headaches, sad depression. These roots that are up into the bone can become infected, and then they affect the nerve, which goes into your brain stem. So there's a program called The Root Cause, and this is a DVD that I bought. And when I saw that, I knew, I had at least 5 root canals since I was younger. Molars, top, bottom, front tooth, actually. And when I went over to see the dentist over there, Dr. Williams, at Tradition Dentistry, they did a CT scan. It was a scan that went around my whole mouth. It wasn't an x-ray where they stick that piece of plastic in your mouth. You got to hold it. They take a picture. That's a 2-dimensional x-ray. That's not going to show you the pockets. When he did that thing that spun around my head, it was $300. Well worth it. I looked at the ends of those teeth that I had the root canals, and every single one of them had a black space above it, like a gap. And he said, well, these are infected. I said, but I don't feel it. He goes, I'm telling you, they're infected. And then I got that video and I saw that. Dude, I ran down. I had those teeth taken out within 2 weeks. And of course, they have to put some bone, they clean it like with a Dremel tool, and then they put some bone graft material in there to graft it. And that's really, really important. Thank you for the fuel pump. So as a result of that, I got rid of those infections, and I've been trying to tell people about this, that these root canals all fail eventually. Even if you're a millionaire and you got a beautiful post in there and you got a beautiful cap, that root canal could have rotted on you. Anyway, so these situations produce poisonous toxins in our body, and our body fat stores it and protects you. So the reason why I can make this claim that we will handle the underlying cause of excessive weight gain and your difficulty in keeping weight off, we're using a very gentle detoxification process, which includes putting the red light onto the fatty tissue, because the laser opens up the fat cells. It increases the circulation. It brings blood supply into that outer space, into that subcutaneous. And then you stand on something called a whole body vibration plate for 10 minutes. And a vibration plate just moves you, kind of shakes you up. You can do it very aggressively or very gently. So if you're older and you're concerned, you can make it very, very, very mild. So you can sit on a chair and do it. And what that's doing is that's pushing the toxins and the fatty acids from the laser process into your bloodstream, into your lymphatic system. Now, the energy from the laser, the fatty acids are burned as energy within 2 hours. That's not a problem. That's why you lose inches. But those toxins, they require help to get out of the body. They're petroleum, and they need a carrier, just like grease needs soap. If you work on your car and you get grease on it, water's not going to rinse it off, is it? You need soap. Well, the petroleum that gets buried into your system, into your fatty tissue, needs help getting out, but you can't use soap. So what happened is God, our creator, gave us lots of things which can bind and make so you can pee them out, so you can remove them through the kidneys. And they're really herbs. So there's a bunch of herbs that come in a capsule form, and we call it Detox 1 and Detox 2. And during the process, you take these detox tablets. And when we put the laser on, then you do whole body vibration, you're releasing the toxins, and then these herbs allow you to carry them out through the urine. And every time you do this, your toxic burden, is what they call it, goes down a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. And the fat, which was protecting it, you can see on the Facebook, goes down with it. Now, we are eating to protect ourselves from toxins. Your ancestors overate when they had a chance because of what we call food insecurity. In other words, they went into the cave with a bunch of heavy people that had more weight than they did, and they looked at them, and most of their tribe starved in the cave over the winter. The ones that had all the extra weight seemed to be okay when the sun came up, when spring came around. And we learned that when you get a chance to eat, you need to eat a lot. Why? Because winter's coming. And when winter comes, there's no chance of food 10,000 years ago. So that's called eating to be secure when you don't have food. And today, doctors, all these books still blame your fact that you are overweight because you just eat too much. You just love food so much. You're a glutton. It's one of the venial sins, gluttony, to be a glutton. And they say it's because you just love food too much. And what I would tell you is that's not true. Yes, we love food because it makes us feel better. We feel better when we eat. I've watched My 600-Pound Life many times, and invariably every time they do the initial the initial narrative, when they start talking to these people about how they got fat, it always comes down to, I'm only happy when I'm eating, or when I eat I feel better, or it's the only thing I have. And I'll tell you, if you get poisoned by plastics from your food and car exhaust by working in an auto garage, or maybe you've been poisoned because you work in agriculture and you're spraying pesticides, or maybe you're a hair salon person, a hairdresser who works with chemicals and ammonias and paint thinners for nails. You're in a nail salon situation. Maybe you're in a home or a building which has mold, and the mold is in the AC system, but nobody's doing anything about it. Maybe you live close to a highway like Canner Highway, which I used to live by, and when the wind blows, you smell the car exhaust when they go past. It leaves a black soot on the cars now. That's how many cars go up and down Canner Highway in our beautiful, wonderful, clean Stuart, Florida. Shocks me. I can't live there. And those toxins are going into your bloodstream, and they're being stored in your fat. And when you eat and you make fat, you protect yourself from that burden. It buries them. Now, you're not healthy. You're not going to, you still have the toxins, and eventually they could show up as neurological problems, dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, ALS. I mean, these situations, they come from toxins. They can. So if you don't handle the toxins, you're not going to be very successful at keeping the weight off. And nobody's going to tell you this. So I'm going to parlay into my segment about this wonderful Inner Clean diet. And it's a really good thing that I have done this so many times that I know exactly what's in it, because my beautiful brochure here, it doesn't have the diet in it. I must have picked up the one that just has the cover. All right. So I have a diet, and I've been using this diet for over 30 years in my chiropractic office. My father used this diet. I've learned this diet. I've taught this diet at the Martin County High School adult education classes, probably 10 to 12 years ago. I did some classes over there, and I taught this diet there. I've given this diet to people with chronic pink eye. I've given this diet to people that have cysts in their ovaries, these big ovarian cysts, to help clean them up. This is my foundational process if somebody is sick, dealing with, God forbid, cancer diagnosis, any chronic illness. You want to clean your body out, right? You want to do a detox. And this isn't something which is pills or something to make you have diarrhea. This is using fruits and vegetables for 6 days in a way that helps to remove toxins from your body. And I will offer this to anyone that wants to go online, put out a shout, say, I'd love to see that Inner Clean diet. I'll send you a copy of it. No charge. Okay. This is very safe to use. And my email, slimbodylaserspa@gmail.com. You can also go to my contact page. You can even request it on Facebook. I'll send it to you. So what it is it's basically a 6-day diet that removes toxins from your body. And for 6 days, this is a feast, not a fast. You're feasting on foods which nature has given you to help detoxify and cleanse your body. And that really is fruits and vegetables. Proteins, meat builds tissue. It builds muscle strength, but it also has toxins in it, which your body has to get rid of. That's why too much protein can be bad. And the same thing goes with fat. Fat should be taken in small amounts, not large amounts. But the fruits and vegetables are designed to scrub and clean your body. So what the diet entails, and I'll summarize it because I don't have much time here, because it's not that hard. So what happens is you're going to not have any meat for 6 days. That's the first thing. Rule that out. No proteins for 6 days. And you're going to start every morning with a glass of warm water and a lemon squirched into it. 1 lemon squeezed into a glass of warm water 15 minutes before you have your breakfast. And that's going to help with digestive enzymes. You're allowed 1 cup of coffee, okay, with one teaspoon of sugar, because people love their coffee. And then for breakfast, you're going to have at least a pound of fresh fruit. Cantaloupe, apples, pears, whatever you want. You can have mangoes, watermelon, 1 pound of fresh fruit in the morning. And you're also going to take 6 tablespoons of cottage cheese, whole fat cottage cheese, not the low fat. And you can sweeten with honey. And we also suggest you sweeten honey with your coffee. And that's your breakfast. And you're going to make a broth, which you're going to drink between breakfast and lunch, between lunch and dinner, and as much as you can of this broth. Now, the broth is made up of mainly vegetables, okra, spinach, parsley, kale, broccoli, carrots, green beans, and you put them in a big pot and you boil them. Now, you're not going to drain off the juice. That's the good part. You're going to take the juice from that. You're going to strain what you boiled, and you're going to have this vegetable broth. And we allow you to help it with a little bit of bouillon cube, like, a couple bouillon cubes helps, but you don't have to. And that is going to be your broth. And you want to drink at least a quart of that every single day to 2 quarts. So you'd have 2 big glasses right after breakfast and right before lunch. You'd have more glasses of that vegetable broth between lunch and dinner. So you want to drink, as much as you can, because that's really going to cleanse you out. Those vitamins and enzymes and minerals that are in that food pushes out the toxins. They release the toxins out of your body, and you can move them out through the urine. It's a wonderful detox. Lunch, 4 cups of salad, okay? And you can have olive oil with a little bit of lemon juice and some salt and pepper as a dressing. You want to stay away from bananas, stay away from avocado, and stay away from corn, because corn has a lot of sugar in it. And you could have as much, by the way, for breakfast, you can also have 1 slice of whole wheat toast with butter. And then your lunch is this big salad, and you can have as much salad as you want. Now, there's no limit on eating this food. If you want to eat more fruit in the morning, more juice, more salads, you can. It's good for you. Between lunch and dinner, 2 big glasses of the vegetable broth. Now comes dinner. Dinner really is, guess what? Steamed vegetables. So you're going to steam some vegetables, and you can put water on them, and you can do things like that. You can put butter on them. That's fine. And over time, you're going to, and you can also have fruit. You can also have more broth, and that's your dinner. And you would repeat this for 6 days. I promise you, after 6 days of that, your bowels are going to move freely. Your skin is going to look better. You're going to have more energy. You will have effectively detoxified and scrubbed your cells of accumulated toxic mucus, pus, and acid, which is accumulated in your body. You'll be fresh and feeling great. I suggest you do an Inner Clean diet twice a year, every 6 months, as needed. If you think you got poison, or you went through a toxic time where you were, did something for 2 months or something, where you had to work in a job that was full of smoke and stuff, you need to do an Inner Clean diet. We seem to be the only culture that doesn't detoxify. Most cultures do this regularly. So that's my Inner Clean diet. I have it right here. I don't know. My Facebook went dark for some reason. Maybe it's my battery. Tell me I'm running out. We're good. So I'm at the Slim Body Laser Spa. I'm located on East Ocean Boulevard, right across from the Fresh Market, and the corner of Monterey and East Ocean Boulevard. We have openings, free consultations if you want to give us a call. And it's 772-223-5885. It's much easier just to go to your smartphone, push the button down low until it goes, "Hello, Alexa," or maybe it's Google, and you say, "Dr. Tread, Slim Body Laser Spa." Or you can even say, "Dr. Tread." I have a very unique name, and it gives me priority when you use it on all of my marketing. If you want to see any of the videos I have, and I have pages and pages of them, just go to your Google search and put in Dr. Tread's videos. You'll see my YouTube channel. You can also see this program that have just completed live on WSTU.com. We are out there. It's really up to you to make the decision to reach out and grab that phone or go onto your computer and come on down and check out the Slim Body Laser Spa. It is truly a gift to humanity, and it's really a gift to Stuart, Florida, because we are here and it is close to you. I cannot tell you, after 6,000 people, and I mean that, have been to our spa, how many people call us from up north, from other countries, that said, is there any place like what you do here? I have some family members, they're struggling with weight. I know how effective it is. And is there any place you can send me? There is nowhere to go. I can't send you to a place in Tampa or one up in Michigan or one over somewhere in New York City. They just don't exist, because we created this, my wife and I, and my incredible clients. And it's right here, and we're open and we're doing business. So it's also Christmas coming up. You can come in, you can put some deposits down. If you'd like to give this a gift to other people, if you'd like to gift this to other people, you can. We have that availability. All right. So I think we're about out of time, and I really appreciate you. I thank you so much for allowing me to tell you about what I do. And we will see you in a week if you want to tune in. All right. Have a great day. God bless. Bye-bye.